We think that with this technology and with this project we are ahead in the trial of having recycled wood in fiberboard production. My name is Marco Fantoni. I am a member of the board of Fantoni Spa, Italy, which is a family-owned company whose history is tracking back to the 1880s with art furniture production at that time. We are now producer of engineered wood-based panels, of course. Then we tried during the years to integrate as much as possible our business in a vertical setup. So we are now active in chemistry, used for our own resins, for our production, which are later on used for MDF and PB production as well, which then we use for our own furniture. We've also integrated, again vertically, to our value chain in transport systems. We are now able to have really a circular loop also in delivering our products to the customers and then bringing back recycled wood, for example. We've started about 25 years ago with recycled wood in particle boards. This is quite customary here in Italy due to geography and the scarcity of wood we have. About 15 or 20 years ago we also made our own MDF with recycling, but due to the technical limitation at that time it was only limited to very thin boards. Then in 2014 we started to think about making a real furniture grade MDF but based on recycled wood. So we started to think about this very huge MDF plant with a 3-layer setup. Virgin wood on the external layers, recycled wood in the core. In 2020, so after a few years of, let's say, learning this new plant and developing the standard MDF technology on this line, we then started to think about installing a really new and up-to-date recycling plant to clean the material in a proper way to feed the core layer of our MDF material. We decided to have our own design of the plant with our own choices of the sizes of the machine, of the process. So we came to STEINERT. We made many tests with them. We selected the machine we preferred, so different technologies. Conventional ones based on magnets, so a current system for the non-ferromagnetic metals. We wanted and we had inside of our plant these X-ray sorters, these NIR sorters, which really are making the difference on the line. The X-ray is really an interesting machine and is making a good job, really. Not only in giving the quality, which is of course of uttermost importance, but also in extracting all those materials that might be also dangerous for the process itself. NIR sorters also are used, and so is I think a very nice showcase with different technologies used in this process. So the detection of black material was a challenge for us, and STEINERT was quite well prepared in this respect. You also were not only, say, a proven name for magnets and so on, but also for optical sorters, X-ray sorters and sensor-based sorters in general. Overall, we are processing about 450,000 tons per year of recycled wood material, of which about 120 within 150,000 are going to the MDF line at the moment. This is an example of the scrap material we start from. Old scrap wood with nails. You might have, of course, laminates, plastics. You can have glass inside, you can have minerals, stones and whatsoever. So you have a plethora of kind of material you have to extract, of course. This is the same material we're using for particle board since many years. And now it's the same we use also for our MDF production. YPB is 100% recycled wood. In the case of MDF, it's about 50%, which is, in our view, a very big goal. We already achieved since 2021. So this is our MDF, branded MR, which means MDF recycling. So we have a surface layer done only with virgin wood in order to guarantee a total absence of pollutants in the surface so that the customer can really use the surface as if it is a virgin wood material. In the core, recycled wood material in a share up to 60 or 70% of the core is then adding up to about 50% of the overall material usage. Last year we have invested a lot in making LCA studies and APD certification of the material in order to have well-proven documentation that can demonstrate how these materials can effectively be sustainable based on numbers and facts. What we can demonstrate with our product and the plant we have done with you is that we can not only use waste wood, but we can use also waste MDF again in the process, which is also very important because the recycling of MDF itself is a problem. It's not so easy. The MDF board we sell is then also recyclable in such a process. For, let's say, medium thickness MDF is by itself a milestone, I think. It's very important. Another thing at that time we have appreciated about this kind of machines is the mechanical construction, which is quite robust, I would say. And since, let's say now 4 years almost of continuous operation, I have to say that we were right in this kind of idea we had. The fact that I'm not sure and I'm not totally aware of the last maintenance problem we had of the machine, I think is quite self-explaining. The machines are reliable, and I have to say that the service also, especially in the first setup phase of the machines, all the aspect was always good, and we were assisted in a very good way. It was let's say, a very good relationship. How your people there illustrated to us the different technologies, what was used and suitable for our purposes and for our needs, what was not. The suggestions in setting up the machine in one way or the other, for example, the X-ray machine, we had these suggestions from your side to having the chute in one case from the bottom, in the other case from the top, depending on the size of the material. And this later on, of course, was also translating in a different geometry of the hoods and all the hoppers below the machine, because it was vice versa and one from another. Startup also was a very important moment where not only we had to prove the efficiency of the material flow in terms of cleanliness, but really try and learn how to modify, how to setting up the machines, and having the possibility to have your teams here someday for the necessary period was, of course, of utmost importance. We are well above the market at the moment can supply in terms of recycled wood material for MDF. So we are happy and proud of what we have done.